the dead terrorist in the murder of those 14 individuals in New Orleans, and then the person of interest in the vehicle explosion outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas had one critical thing in common, well, several, but they both rented their vehicles from a car-sharing app called Turo.
The app functions like an Airbnb for your vehicle, meaning you go directly to an owner and not a big rental company like Hertz or Avis. For more, let's bring in CyberGuy Kurt Knutsson. Kurt, glad to have you with us here because a lot of people haven't heard of Turo and they're seeing it's a commonality. They don't really know what the company does. Explain to us what they do and maybe why this would be something that guys like this would want to use to get a car.
Well, that's a very good point. Brian, hello to you and Dagan. Happy New Year under sad circumstances. And Turo is an app that a lot of people are saying, what the heck is that? Well, if you think about it, it's like the Airbnb of car rentals. So an owner, you and I could have a privately owned car and put it out on this app available for other people who also use a Turo app to go and rent our car. And we make arrangements either to meet them in person to deliver the car, or it could be contactless, where they just enter a code or we remotely unlock the car, giving them access. And that's where this is coming under scrutiny. It's super convenient, but at the same time, you're not really facing anybody face-to-face in every circumstance when you use the Turo app. So if you're up to no good, it is not a really safe mechanism to protect our national security at this point. Now, we reached out to Turo. They also say, but listen, we have risk assessments. We run background checks. We require people to put in their license, either if they're renting the car to somebody or if they're renting a car from somebody, so that either of these two people involved in both Las Vegas or the Bourbon Street attack must have at some point entered their driver's license and done exactly what they would have done had they gone to, for example, a Hertz or Avis or National or regular rental car. But I still want to know, what are we doing to rein in some just common sense regulation of an app that makes life really convenient on one hand, but at the same time allows you to be super anonymous?
I'm going to make you speculate, but Kurt, and just take this wherever you want. But clearly, Turo, as a business, might offer somebody who wants a very specific vehicle. It's easier to get it than going through a rental car company. Even there's an app-based rental car service that I use, but you can't just pick and choose the exact kind of car you want. That you can do here, correct?
Yeah, absolutely correct. And a lot of people, as you recall, after the pandemic was winding down and Americans and globally people started to travel again, it was nearly impossible to get a traditional rental car at a regular rental car company. And Turo really found its roots during that time, where it went from hundreds of thousands of rentals up into the millions at that point. And that's because a lot of people saw opportunity. I can go buy a Cybertruck and tomorrow put it on the service and make it available for use specifically to rent my truck.
And we've got a statement, by the way, Kurt, from Turo that we should read. They issued a statement acknowledging the vehicles used were from the company and saying in part, quote, "We don't believe that either renter had a criminal background that would have identified them as a security threat. And we're not currently aware of any information that indicates the two incidents are related." So if you don't have a criminal background, you're probably going to get through their system, Kurt, and they're going to get the car. And as Dagan says, and I've rented from Turo many times, you get exactly the car you want, down to the EV or not, or SUV or whatever, and that's exactly what you're going to get.
Or the weight of the vehicle,
exactly.
Or the power behind it, whether it's four-wheel drive, whether it can be turned into a weapon a lot easier. You're absolutely correct on that. 13 states, by the way, looking at regulations related to this industry of the peer-to-peer, as they call it, car rental market. But in terms of federal regulation, there's really nothing on the books of any consequence that's doing anything to protect national security. Turo, getting ahead of this on their side, has been pretty forthright in offering, hey, this is how we operate, this is what they did, but it still doesn't change the fact that, yeah, we're missing some common sense here. We're missing the ability to just look somebody in the eye and just see if they're up to no good, and then answer, go from there.
Right.
Kurt Knutsson. Thank you so much, Kurt. Good to see you.
Thanks, Kurt.